And we are back. Welcome to Plug Talk Sports on a Monday night live show, episode 141. We took a week off last week to commemorate Memorial Day. So it was a nice little recharge. And we're back here on a Monday night. It's just me, Danny Torres, and Jonka Don't Stop Missing Brandon tonight. But Jonka, the first thing that I want to talk about before we get into everything is I don't know if you saw on ESPN on First Take today, Monica McNutt and Stephen A. Smith going at it. Stephen A. Smith saying that no one has done more for the WNBA than First Take, and Monica McNutt saying that you could, if you wanted to, use your platform to talk about it 3 years ago. And I think everyone's face was really baffled, especially Molly. She was kind of like, oof, you just said that. It was quite interesting. I think that really got under Stephen A's skin. What do you think about that?
It was how do you say, a little bit tense
It
when I
was
that you could just tell you're not even in the room, just from the video, just watching it, everybody's reaction when she said those words. And I don't agree with her point because, like, I'm sorry to all the WNBA fans. 3 years ago, they weren't really that relevant. There are only some famous names that you could probably say from the WNBA 3 years ago, but it's just because of recent Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and Sabrina with versus Steph, and many and Cameron Brink coming in, and maybe what Paige Buchers for next year.
yeah.
Like, it's only picking up more and more hype every single year. But I heard her take, and the thing I didn't agree with, the thing I didn't agree with was she said that, oh yeah, she's a rookie. Oh, I don't mind them playing a little bit more aggressive. And I'm like, okay, but that wasn't really aggressive. It was just flagrant disrespect and a cheap shot that had nothing to do with like, he wasn't she wasn't even, it was just an inbounds pass.
So let's start this as the first topic of the night. We're going to talk about Caitlin Clark. She's getting a lot of hate as of recent.
For no reason.
Um, it's involved race. It's gone that far, really. Um, Pat McAfee was talking about Jamel Hill, talking about it. They're saying it's white privilege. So where she gets shoved to the floor, do you see that as a competitive edge of, man, we don't give a crap who you are. Welcome to the WNBA. Like, welcome to the professional stage. We don't give a crap who you are, and we're not going to give you special treatment. Or is that more of it was an envious jealousy type thing, uncalled for, cheap shot sort of thing?
I think it was uncalled for. And the reason I say that because I've been following this since it happened. I just right now I'm here on Twitter right now in my hand. Before Caitlin Clark started her WNBA career, the highest attendance around was like around 10K. Now with her in it, it's like 17,000. So you're getting way more viewers in the seats. That doesn't even include viewers on TV and subscriptions and whatever. You guys are getting charter flights now, which is an upgrade. Like, she's bringing you guys what you've been wanting for years, what you haven't been getting, and you're hating on her. And because she's a rookie, you have to disrespect her by shoving her to the floor and saying that, oh, it's just tough basketball. No, it would be tough basketball if she was like driving in for a layup and maybe it was a hard foul, but it was an inbounds pass and you just shoved her to the floor. And I think it was complete disrespect. Like, Kennedy Carter, she's been known to have been having aggressive issues in her past. She has a history of doing things like this, but still, I just think it's just complete jealousy. When Kaden Clark was shoved to the floor, the entire what's the Chicago Sky, right?
Yep.
Chicago Sky bench stood up, including Angel Reese, stood up and started cheering for the for what she did to Kaden Clark. What kind of that is straight up disrespect. That is straight up disrespect. I'm sorry. Like, no matter if you're a real sports fan, you do not wish any injury or pain on another player. I- You can't. I don't. I as much as I am a Hurricane fan and a Gator, and I hate the Gators, I wouldn't wish any pain on a Gator player or I mean whatever it is. That's not sportsmanship. Like you don't teach that. Like no, I'm sorry. Like that is just complete hate and everything with that white supremacy. That's just the narrative they're trying to make up just to push because the white girl is getting more money, more viewership, and they're not giving credit to the players that have been there before, previously that have been playing previous seasons. All of a sudden, she's taking all the credit now that the WNBA is getting more popularity now. So
And it's interesting because they didn't say anything like that about Sabrina Ionesco or even about Cameron Brink.
it doesn't make sense. I'm telling you, there's complete inconsistencies in their argument, and it's just petty. It literally just petty. And Angel Reese saying, "Oh, I'm relevant too." Okay, but you're not. You're averaging 10 points a game. You're shooting 0% from three. Like what are you talking about? Like you're not playing anywhere near what Kaden Clark is doing. So don't tell me that you're playing better than she is.
So she said today in a press conference, a media availability, she happened to say that she's okay with being in the villain role, that she's been in that since the last 2 years of the national championship. She's been hearing all about this, and she pretty much said it's not all about Caitlin Clark. Like it's about me too. I'm part of this.
That just sounds like petty attitude to me.
Does that sound? Would you say that's something that sounds like jealousy?
Jealousy, pettiness, whatever other adjectives you want to add on to it. No. It's listen, buddy, or ma'am, or whatever you want to call yourself. You need to stop worrying about others and actually start worrying about your game because as of right now, since your debut, you have been playing like awful basketball. I haven't seen a good game from Angel Reese, so she shouldn't be the one talking. First of all, like I don't understand why they hate it. Why they hate they're targeting her like in an aggressive way. If you want to prove that she isn't that all that, then okay, then show it. Put some better defense on her. You know, try to try to take away her, like go against her weaknesses on the court, but don't assault somebody on the court, and then just because you're allowed to foul, it makes it right. Like, and they gave the flagrant the day after the game was over. So what is she can't take those free throws back? It's no, bro. Like I can get way more into this. It's just no, no.
I mean, please do get more into it. But I will say, yeah, I think Angel Reese's comment saying that it's not all about her. Like I'm part of it too. Um, it gives me the vibe of like, hey, I want the spotlight too.
She's petty because she's not getting any because she sucks. I'm sorry to say it, you suck. Well, oh, because everybody's raving about you, and the reason she's playing the victim all over again. Because remember when she was being sexualized because she was wearing provocative clothing, I think at the Met Gala or something, and all of a sudden she's like, "Oh, why are you guys treating me like this?" Well, don't dress like that. Like they have a reason to talk because you're the one you're the one doing it. You're like the instigating. Hey, I'm telling you, bro, don't get me heated now. We got 5 more topics to go tonight, and we're already 10 minutes in.
Yeah, it's something like, man, how can I? let's see, how can I explain this?
Like, where was this attitude the last season, the previous season? I've never seen a rookie being targeted this much in my life. Like, seriously, when in the WNBA or NBA have you seen a rookie come in and be targeted with this much aggression? Like, I think she's been fouled like over 60 times, in the season just started.
I would say, okay, so I have my example. I would say, yes, the WNBA's had great players, but Caitlin Clark has taken it to the next level, and she brings, the media. She brings, the fans. She brings the profit for the league. So she can literally be the one to take this to the next level and build the WNBA, and could end up being the WNBA's GOAT. And so my example is, when you look way back in the day, and I'm going to relate this to international soccer, when Pelé first arrived on the scene with Brazil, and he was playing in these World Cups against England and against Sweden and stuff like that. And you know that Brazilians like to play with an exciting flair and tricks and all that stuff.
We know tiki-taka.
They like to do all these little tricks and stuff like that. So when Pelé stepped on the scene and Brazil is doing all this, people would foul Pelé hard on purpose. And pretty much it's kind of the same thing with Caitlin Clark, where she's taking the brunt of everything the same way Pelé did, because they're the ones that are pioneering pretty much the sport. So that's how I relate it.
I think the WNBA needs to be very careful on how they handle this, because if this kind of play gets out of hand and Caitlin Clark turns an ankle, knock on wood, or gets injured and she's out for the season, there goes your viewership, buddy. And I'm telling you right now, nobody wants to see Angel Reese score 10 points a game. I'm letting you know right now, Daniel. It's not going to be good. So I would watch out. It's like saying, yeah, let me go into the NBA and try to foul LeBron as hard as possible every play. Oh, and all of a sudden LeBron goes down. There goes the viewership for the NBA, because everybody wants to see LeBron lose or win.
That is true. That is true. I mean, it's the reason. I mean, let's be honest. What's the reason why we tune into the Lakers when they play at night?
Facts.
We want to see if the Lakers lose.
Unfortunately, but yes.
It's the truth. So you have a point there. It is right. But anyways, that is the WNBA topic. Let's move on. Stay on basketball. NBA Finals is set. Western Conference champions Dallas Mavericks against the Eastern Conference champion Boston Celtics. I really wish that Brandon was here tonight.
I wish.
I really wish.
He's dodging us.
He is dodging us. I'm going to go first. Here's my take. And this is a shot at Brandon again. I said it since the beginning. Do not be surprised if the Dallas Mavericks end up in the NBA Finals. Don't be surprised. I think the Dallas Mavericks, since the end of the regular season and throughout the postseason, both Kyrie and Luka have paired perfectly. And the rest of the team, the role players, they've meshed together well, and they've caught fire at the right time. And they're playing good basketball.
Yes, sir.
I mean, just look at that conference finals against the Minnesota Timberwolves. I mean, the Timberwolves couldn't do anything against the Dallas Mavericks except for that one game.
Terrible.
They shut them down. And, well, when you look at the Boston Celtics, let's see how they're going to handle adversity. Because, to be quite honest, in my opinion, the first set of adversity is going to be in the NBA Finals, because they've had a cakewalk through the playoffs. And Brandon wants to say all this about, seeding. You know, that's what you get when you get first seed. I'm sorry, but when you have major injuries in every single round, that's not about being the first seed. That's just, it's been lucky, and they've had a cakewalk through the Eastern Conference playoffs and then the NBA Finals. And to be quite honest with you, I don't think that Jason Tatum has that clutch gene in him. I think Jaylen Brown is more clutch than Jason Tatum. And also, when Al Horford and Derek White aren't shooting like Steph Curry, I think that's when they struggle. I think it will be interesting to see Kristaps Porzingis back in this series, especially as a former Dallas Maverick. And there is some beef there. Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis did not get along when they were in Dallas, so that's going to be some extra fuel for Luka and the Mavericks. But I will say I take the Dallas Mavericks in 6 games.
Hmm. Well, listen, I got Kyrie right here as motivation because I'm going for the Dallas Mavericks 100%. As much as a Miami Heat fan I am, I can only go for one of them, and I'm gonna choose the Mavericks over the Celtics because if the Celtics would have had a respectable road to the finals, maybe I would have chosen them. But with that ride they had, bro, it's like they went in like on a Bentley with the open road, and they were all green lights. Like nothing was able to stop them. And the reason I think it might be five, I think it might be 5 games, Daniel. I think it might be five.
A gentleman's sweep?
I think it's because I don't think Porzingis has that dog in him. I don't think he has it. I don't think he has it. I think Gafford right now is gonna man him up. I think Derek Lively is playing a good rookie season. PJ Washington, I don't know where he came from, bro. Like where was that in Charlotte? And then Derek Jones Jr. Boy, the guy's shooting threes. Where was that in Miami? Like I think their team right now is in a good place. Like they're evenly matched, and I think they have. I think they're just bigger than Boston. So I think defensively they're right there. Man, it's either 5 or 6. I want to say 5 because I think it's gonna be kind of tough. Man, I want to flip a coin, but uh, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say 6,
Okay.
just because I know the Celtics are gonna hit some BS3, and then they're gonna even out the series or whatever. I think it's gonna be. I think we're gonna have a series of like one of those series where Boston loses the first, there's two at home, then Luca loses their two at home, and then Mavericks win the next two.
Okay. So, from your take, are you saying that for the Celtics to win this, Kristaps Porzingis is the key?
Yes. Yes.
So, if Porzingis is firing on all cylinders, especially coming off of injury, if he's firing on all cylinders, you're saying Celtics win this series.
Yeah. That's if he does it. If PJ Washington, which I'm expecting PJ Washington to guard him or Derek White, you have to neutralize either White or Porzingis. I really don't care for Porzingis. The thing is, he's tall. He's 7'2" or whatever, so he's gonna be tough to guard anyways. But if you can hold White to with his threes, and I don't think Drew Holiday is gonna be able to guard Kyrie Irving
No.
or Luka Doncic. And we all know that Jalen Brown, once it gets tough, his hands turn into wet goo, and it's turnover city. So this is why I like this series because we're gonna find out who has the bigger cojones. All right, we're gonna find out, buddy. Is Jason Tatum worth more than 300 million than Jalen Brown is? We're gonna find out what he had because this is their shot. Because next year everybody's gonna come out healthier. Everybody's gonna have more experience, and they're gonna come out with revenge against Boston because
Listen,
who's not gonna come out for Boston
in
after
that
what?
Indiana series, it was Jalen Brown, not Jason Tatum.
I'm telling you right now, Daniel. If Boston doesn't get it done this year, may Lord have mercy on their souls because it's gonna be ugly next year, bro. You don't think the Heat, the Knicks, the Sixers, the Pacers, or whoever else I'm missing, is gonna come for their throats after the injuries that happened. Hey, and let me just say something. That in the Indiana series, if Indiana would have just made a couple of shots here and there, the series could have been even. Like it was close mostly every game.
Yeah.
So,
And it was mostly close every game without Tyrese Halliburton.
which is what I'm saying, bro. Without Halliburton, and the games were close. One of those games with Cleveland, it was 109-102 without Donovan Mitchell, and Garland went off. So, hey, I'm telling you right now, if Jaylen Brown or Drew Holiday cannot guard Kyrie Irving is averaging 35.
I could see that. I agree with that.
Who you gonna guard, buddy? Okay, you double Kyrie. Okay, who's gonna get Luka? PJ Washington hitting threes. The guy's almost 6'9". Derrick Jones, what? He's gonna jump like 13 feet in the air and dunk on you. I'm telling you, bro. I hope the Mavericks win this damn series, bro, just so I can laugh. Because I think at the end of July, Brandon comes back because he moves back here to South Florida
Yeah.
from Gainesville. We're all gonna have a meetup, and we're gonna have to have like a funeral service for him if they lose this series.
If they lose this series,
I'm gonna laugh so hard
I'm gonna laugh very hard. But I don't know what Brandon's gonna do.
I hope he's watching this.
My question is, if they do not win this series, what do the Celtics do about Tatum and Brown?
I think Boston would be in a difficult situation because you're paying Jaylen Brown $300 million, and there's a cap. So how much are you gonna pay Jason Tatum? Because honestly, I would say Tatum is better than Brown. That's what I think. Even though the stats say different, and in clutch time it's different, I still think Tatum is better overall than Brown. So are you gonna offer Tatum more than $300 million? Like, how much of a hit on the cap are you gonna give this team, bro? Like luxury tax? Like, it's gonna be what, over $1 billion?
Yeah.
So, hey, I'm telling you right now, they might have to clean house if they lose this series, bro. I can see Tatum somewhere else. I think he might be fed up.
Well, look, he needs to show up on the big games and when it matters. So I wouldn't say it would be his full disclosure to point fingers at people.
I'm gonna need to see that dog attitude. I need to see it. Porzingis doesn't have it. Jaylen Brown is in and out with it.
Yeah.
But Tatum has to be the guy to lead the team. And Al Horford, man, I hope. My God. Somebody better check Al Horford, bro. They're going to have to use their youth against Al Horford. Make him run up and down that court. Get him tired, bro. Eventually, he's going to give. He won't be able to get on the court because he's too tired. It's going to give. It's going to give. Trust me.
What about, there's Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser.
Don't disrespect my boy. It's my boy Payne, bro.
Yeah, now he's your boy.
He's been my boy. Since Oregon, he's been my boy.
Peyton Pritchard.
I got his autograph card in my safe right now.
This is news to me. That Peyton Pritchard's been your boy since the beginning.
Bro, I've been following since Oregon, bro. And I knew when Boston took him, I'm like, damn, they got a steal. Man, bro. He doesn't get any playing time. Stupid ass Missoula.
Or as I like to call him, Joe Meatball Mozzarella.
Matzo soup.
Oh, man. I think, I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see Missoula going up against Jason Kidd in coaching.
Who do you think has the edge in coaching?
I think Missoula has experience on him.
In coaching?
I'm saying him being in this spot.
Man.
Because this is as far as Jason Kidd's been before.
But I don't know. I think Jason Kidd also has the edge of being a player. So he's been in these situations.
Well, the last time Jason Kidd was in the finals was as a player in 2011 against the Miami Heat.
Hey. What team was that?
Dallas Mavericks.
Hey. Rooks aren't written. They're made.
Okay, so 6 games for me, 6 games for you. All right.
But how do you have the games like one though? Like, how do you have it?
So is the series starting on Boston or Dallas?
It should be Boston because they're the first seed.
Let's check. Let's check here.
I'm pretty sure.
So it starts at Boston.
Mm-hmm.
I think Boston takes game 1.
Okay.
Dallas takes game 2.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas takes game 3. Boston takes game 4. Then they go back to Boston. Dallas takes game 5 and 6.
So we're kind of similar, but I have the Mavericks winning the first 2, and then
So you're saying that Dallas absolutely takes away home court advantage and takes both in Boston?
I think so.
Okay.
If Dallas can take game 1, and with how Boston has been playing in game 2s this postseason, they're gonna take game 2, and then they're gonna go to Dallas, and then Boston's gonna beat them in Dallas because they haven't been really good at home either way.
Okay.
So it's gonna be 2-2, and then it's gonna go Dallas. Bing bang boom, Mavericks are the champions. And the same year that Mark Cuban sells the team.
Well, he's still part of the team in some capacity, but just not fully.
Just unfortunate.
I'm happy for him, but this is also some revenge for Kyrie Irving, who used to wear the Celtics jersey. And I have a feeling that he's going to put on a show in the TD Garden, and he's going to silence that crowd that used to cheer him. I'm telling you.
You know what TD stands for, right?
No.
The Dallas Garden.
Oh, man. Did you just come up with that right now?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Live here on Plug Talk Sports.
You heard it first. The TD Garden stands for the Dallas Garden. Well, hey, I wouldn't say TD Garden is all that menacing, considering the fact that South Florida ran that building last year. From the Florida Panthers to the Heat.
Yeah, Loki gave me a stroke, but...
And this year, too. TD Garden.
That's right. I told you, bro. We didn't talk about it, but I told you, bro. It was because we were out for 2 weeks and we were rusty in that series, and we went and swept, and we just went bang, 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 bang. I'm telling you, bro. Go Panthers. We're going to win this thing. Sweep.
Let's talk about the Panthers. Stanley Cup Finals, Game 1, Saturday night, and it's against the Edmonton Oilers. And I believe Game 1 is in Sunrise at the Ameribank Arena. Man, I had a little bit – I was a little nervous with the New York Rangers, especially in this last game with about 40 seconds where Panthers were up 2-0, and then they hit the goal. Rangers bring it back 2-1.
Same.
And they were pressing. They were pressing in those final 30 seconds. And I was like, man, if they get a goal. I want to say credit to the Rangers because they sent 3 straight games to overtime. And they did well. They won 2 of those games in overtime. And they did well. And they put the pressure on the Panthers. And they made the Panthers respond. But honestly, Panthers were too strong. They have too good of a team. And like I've told you, I think if the Panthers don't get it done this year, I think the door closes on their window of bringing the Stanley Cup home. I think this is the year. If the Panthers are going to do it, this is the year. And honestly, I thought the Dallas Stars were going to make the Stanley Cup Finals, but credit to the Edmonton Oilers. They're bringing them the Western Conference trophy, and they're heading into the finals. And it is the largest gap of distance traveled between two teams in the Stanley Cup Finals. I personally have been to Edmonton once. It's not close. It's not close. And there's no direct flight, I believe, from Miami. You have to go to Dallas if you're flying American Airlines, and from Dallas to Calgary or Edmonton. Yeah, it's not close.
I was watching that game last night with the Dallas Stars and Edmonton Oilers. It was 2-0 most of the game, and then the Stars score one, and I'm like, 7 minutes left in the third period? No, but then they end it. Shout out to Dallas. I really hoped we were gonna see two southern states make the Stanley Cup Finals. It would be ironic where just the South is winning in hockey. That's just the funny part to me. But now it's one North, one South, and an opposite ends of the damn continent. But
You know, Canada is going to be rooting for Edmonton because it will be the first time that a Canadian team wins the Stanley Cup since '93.
I mean, too bad they're not gonna win it. I mean, the reason I say is because Barkov is motivated, bro. We saw they didn't even touch that trophy, bro.
Well, there's a conspiracy. They have a conspiracy that last year they touched the trophy and they lost. So part of the conspiracy is they don't want to touch it this year.
Bro, that just explains. That makes my point even better, bro. They're that motivated to win. There's nothing getting in our way of losing this series, bro. I'm telling you right now, Daniel. We are either sweeping or gentlemen sweeping this damn stupid team. Everybody is gonna get their share of goals, bro. Bobrovsky is gonna be like a god sent from God himself. I don't think that makes sense, but I'm just telling you.
What do you think about his play in this Eastern Conference Final against the Rangers?
Bobrovsky?
Yes.
Listen, ESPN has been pissing me off about this. Every single series we've been in, they have called the goalie of the other team the best goalie in the playoffs, and they have not given him his credit. Well, guess what? The jig is up, buddy. Bobrovsky is the best goalie in the NHL. Point set match. We're winning the Stanley Cup. We're going to Sawgrass. Pack your bags. Let's go. We're winning it.
Are you gonna go party in Sawgrass?
Hey, if I have to go to Sawgrass, I have to go to Sawgrass. I'll fill up my tank and go.
Now, I think it's pretty remarkable from this Panthers team, and hence the nickname Cardiac Cats. Man, they come back. They just come alive. They 2 goals down. They come back. They tie it up. They win games in that fashion, and that's not an easy thing to do. I personally think, and I don't know, I'll let you say what your opinion on that is, but I think teams that can do that, it can just flip the switch and come back from 2 goals down or any sort of deficit, it's all about mentality. And think to themselves, we're not dead. We're still alive in this, and let's get it done.
We saw it plenty of times during this playoffs, bro, where we were down 2, we were down 1, 3, and we came back and won it. I'm telling you, bro. Like I'm gonna continue to say it, bro. We are being slept on every single year because we're a Florida team. I'm telling you, we are gonna kick that ass, bro. My God, I don't want to see no Tim Hortons coffee. I want to see cafecito in those stands, bro. I swear, we're gonna beat. I mean, you know what? I already said it enough, bro. I'm telling you right now, we're winning the Stanley Cup, bro. This is gonna be the first time ever. I got my Patriots winning. I already seen that. My Yankees have won. What else? I've seen the Heat win. All I need left is my Hurricanes. I need the Hurricanes to win. I need the Marlins to win. And now
Hey, you've seen the Marlins win.
Okay, the Marlins win, but I mean recently with this new Miami Marlins. I see the Florida Marlins. I need to see this Marlins. But we'll take that too.
Inter Miami.
They could do it this year. We'll see. So we have the Dolphins and we have the Panthers. Those are the only two that I have not seen win a championship. And that's gonna have to take one off. The only one left is Inter Miami and the Dolphins.
How concerned were you in this series against the
Zero.
Rangers?
0.
With the backs facing up against the wall, going into overtime.
Daniel,
That game.
Daniel, you can look into the depths of my soul. That's how confident I am, bro. The reasons they even won those overtime games was because of lucky ass deflection goals, bro. They weren't even legit goals. They were the luckiest things going in. Not even God himself could explain how those things went in. Like, seriously, go back and watch them. You're like, you know what, bro? Janka's right. How the hell did that go in? I'm telling you, I never doubted us once, bro. Down 1, down 2, whatever it is. We lost, I think we won game 1 and we lost game 2, was it?
Yes.
And then we lost game 3 and then we just came
4.
back and won it, yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro. Give Reinhardt, Barkov, Verhey, I forgot, whatever all the rest are, you can call them whatever you want to call them. The goats or whatever the hell, the cats. Está chao, bro. We're winning this.
So
You're gonna remember this day, Daniel. You're gonna remember this day when we kicked that ass.
Monday, June 3rd. I'll mentally bookmark it.
If they don't do it, I'm gonna be really mad, man.
If they don't do it, do you think the window's closed?
If they don't do it, bro, that the door is just like creaked open. It's only creaked, like it's about to shut. It's like like when the parents are like looking through the door to see if you're asleep, like este niño de verdad. I'm telling you. I think they're gonna do it though. I think everybody's so motivated that like I think you could just tell from their body language in the Rangers series that you could just tell like they weren't really even trying. Like the series was just slow. Like the goal scoring wasn't even that big. 1-2, 2-1, overtime, 1-1. Usually the Panthers are like one of the highest scoring teams.
Yeah.
I didn't see them be really that aggressive. I think they were trying to hold their energy for this series. I think we're gonna see a very energetic Panthers.
What's your prediction? How many games do the Panthers win? I'm gonna be generous. Hold up. I'm gonna be generous. 4-1?
4-1.
I'm gonna be generous and say 4-2.
Okay.
So it's gonna go 6. So you have a gentleman's sweep.
Yeah.
Man, so you have a gentleman's sweep for both the Mavericks and for the Panthers.
Oh, I got 6. I remember 6.
6. That's right. Okay, I'll give you that.
But if that gentleman's sweep happens, I take credit for it.
You switched it to 6 though. You switched it to 6. You gotta be you have to be final in your answer. You can't be switching up like that. You can't be switching up and taking credit.
I'll take 25%. Just for me saying it. It's out there.
I'll give you 25%.
Okay. All right. Bet.
Anyways, switching topics. We're going to talk about the UEFA Champions League final. It was between Real Madrid and Borussia Dortmund in Wembley in London. 2-0 victory for 2-1. Was it 2-1, I believe? Or I think that goal was offsides.
It was offside. It was 2-0.
2-0 for Madrid. They captured their 15th European title. The most, as you guys know, the most in Champions League history is Real Madrid, 15 now. And what's even crazy is that 48 hours later, they signed Kylian Mbappe And I'm just thinking to myself, can these guys win like 3 straight more Champions Leagues now that they add Mbappe? It's ridiculous. They have Vinicius, Mbappe, Rodrigo, Bellingham. They signed Endrick, I believe, from Palmeiras in Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
The team, Camavinga, Chalmeni. We're losing Cruz, but they still have Luka Modric for one more year. They got
Valverde.
Fede Valverde. They have Courtois in goal. They have Militao. They have Danny Carvajal, Antonio Rudiger. The team is stacked. And there's no other way but to credit Real Madrid's president, Florentino Perez, for the way that he has built Real Madrid after Cristiano Ronaldo. And you compare that to Barcelona. Barcelona really hasn't built into a young core and young players the way that Real Madrid has.
They tried, but they failed.
Yeah.
Hard.
And talking about the final itself, Dortmund could have easily been up 2-0. Easily. Adeyemi had 2 great chances. One hit the pole, which it would have been offside. There was one goal that was pulled back in the second half that was offsides. There was another one where Adeyemi had a one-on-one with Courtois, and Courtois did a great job of forcing him to go wide and making it a tough angle. And by the time Adeyemi went wide, Danny Carvajal caught up and was able to deflect the shot. The first question I will ask you, and this was a debate leading up to the final, Thibaut Courtois tore his ACL in August, worked all the way back, and played in the final.
Mm-hmm.
People were kind of upset that Andriy Lunin, the backup goalkeeper who's from Ukraine, who, I'm not going to lie to you, played very well. Played very well throughout the Champions League and covered well for Courtois. Do you think it was messed up for them to play Courtois and not Lunin?
Ooh. That's... Damn. It's a...
Which, by the way, the Euros start next Friday, and it's shocking. I mean, because obviously he didn't play a lot this year because of the ACL injury. Belgium is not taking Courtois as their keeper to the Euros.
It's kind of tough to say because, you know, you guys won the game, so you can't say no. You can't really say no because you won the game. And if you say yes, then you really don't know if he would have played well either if he wasn't.
It's more of I think what people are saying is more of Lunin deserved it.
That's the part that makes it difficult because he did play all those games. He did the whole journey with them,
and he played well.
He played good, and then you make it to the final, and you did all that work, and the guy just comes in. And just, you know, the guy you replaced for all this time just comes in out of nowhere and then takes your spot. And then, you know, he plays well. And then it's like you're kind of back to square one. It's like, okay, what do I do from here? Do I have to sit here and wait again?
Which is what concerns people because Courtois, leading up to this game, played like 2 La Liga games as a warm-up. But it didn't even matter because Real Madrid had already clinched the La Liga title.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like people were concerned, is he going to be ready? Because playing La Liga games that don't matter already because you already won is not the same as playing in a Champions League final. But yet again, Courtois has played in multiple Champions League finals.
I think it would have been, even win or lose, I know winning is obviously the most important thing, but if you would have won and you would have given the goalkeeper you know, the experience of being in that moment, bro, that, like, just having the experience in the Champions League final, knowing what that feels like, you officially have, now if, let's say, Courtois does go down again, you have that goalie that even though he is good, in the big moments, he could play for you. and that's priceless. Like finding a good goalie that could play in those kind of moments is a make or break in some games.
Yeah.
So it's a tough call. It's a really tough call because you guys did win the game. At the same time, he did play the whole Champions League. So it's like it's it's hard to say because you don't want to. This feels like you gave him all the credit, give Courtois all the credit for the Champions League, even though he only played the final.
Yeah.
But then it's like, oh, I got you guys here, but then you don't play me.
It's tough.
There's gonna be some drama in that goalkeeper room. I'm telling you that much.
It's tough, but you have to remember that Courtois is one of the best goalkeepers in the entire world.
He's made his name.
The next question I'll ask you, okay, so look, Real Madrid this year in the Champions League, round of 16, they take out Leipzig, German team.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterfinal, a hard-fought quarterfinal against Manchester City. That was a hard-fought quarterfinal.
Oh, a good-ass game.
Semi-final, they take out Bayern Munich. And then obviously the final, Borussia Dortmund. And right now, there's two players on Madrid that are close and highly talked about winning the Ballon d'Or. And that is Vinicius Jr. or Jude Bellingham. Who do you think? And by the way, it came out today. UEFA has rated Vinicius Jr. the best player of the Champions League this season.
It's only Champions League.
Only Champions League, and UEFA named Bellingham best young player of the Champions League this year. Who do you think right now is the best player in the world, better player in the world, and deserves the Ballon d'Or? Vinicius Jr. or Jude Bellingham?
I love Vinicius, man.
But hold up, but you know what will count? I think towards this conversation, what they do now in June. What will Jude do with England in the Euros? And what will Vinny do with Brazil in the Copa America? I think that's going to count towards it for sure.
Do they take that into account or they don't?
They do take that into account.
Okay. Well, seeming as I'm not expecting Brazil to do much.
You don't see them in the final?
I don't see them in the final. I'm sorry. I don't. They could. But as of recent years, they haven't really shown me anything. They just can't coexist. None of them. They just all want to be stars. They don't make plays for each other. They're not a good team to me. Well, their players are really good, but they're not a unit. They're just a bunch of stars thrown onto a team. Now, England, on the other hand, we saw what happened in the World Cup. Like they were right there in the quarterfinal, bro. They were right there.
Hey, England's got names.
And I think Bellingham, bro. I'm telling you, if he hears about this, he might be motivated. And I think he's had a year where like all those goals he's had in La Liga. I think we've watched a couple games together.
Yeah,
where he's hit some closers.
He had one hell of a year in his first year in Madrid.
I'm saying, so I'm just like, I don't know, bro. Like Vinicius, he has his moments where he's hot, but then when he's cold, you don't really hear about him. He's just there. Kind of like Erling Haaland in that game. He was kind of like a non-factor. Yeah, it was. So I'm expecting Jude. I think it's gonna be Jude.
So you give the Ballon d'Or to Jude Bellingham. Okay. All right, and my final question on this topic. What do you feel now about Mbappe joining Madrid?
I've been saying this to you for months. Can he coexist with other stars that like to score the ball too? You got Jude, you got Vinicius,
Rodrigo,
and everybody else. It's not just you. He has an ego. We've all seen it. If he was unable to play with Messi, buddy, get ready for a storm, bro. Like Messi, the guy that likes to pass the ball and create chances for you, and you couldn't play with him. I gotta see it to believe it.
He's coming onto a team that's already a strong, firm unit.
Now, does he elevate the team even in the potential? Because we haven't seen him play yet. In the potential, it's high. It's high. But because of how we know who he is, the things could go down.
You know
If
what's
things start
scary?
to happen, things can start to happen, and he can kind of mix with people that don't like him, and then there you go.
You know what's scary to think about the rest of the world? It's absolute scary. Imagine Modric giving him the ball. Imagine he already has chemistry with his French teammates Kamavinga and Chalmeni. That chemistry is already there. It is insane.
I think with now Mbappe going to Madrid, I'm expecting I'm expecting Man City, Manchester, Arsenal. They're gonna try to make some big moves to try to
I
compensate.
do something, man.
I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm expecting City obviously to do something because they're gonna want to repeat again.
Can
So
we see? Can we see in Europe a just now with adding Mbappe, just and all these players, by the way, they're on Madrid. And this next generation, they're all from the age of 20 to 25. They're all young. Can we see a Real Madrid dominance, supremacy of Europe?
we could, we very well could. I'm telling you, bro. This will all depend on what
Mbappe.
Mbappe. It's all on Mbappe, bro. Because he can either set his ego aside and play with the team as a unit and play beautiful soccer or football or whichever side of the world you're on and win the damn trophies, which Madrid knows how to do, and teach them how to play for real, or it could be the biggest disappointment in soccer history. You can take that wherever you want. This right now, if Mbappe doesn't win anything, like any major trophy with this team, biggest disappointment. It's probably maybe one in sports history. I don't know what other disappointment you can call it, but the
Yeah.
amount of money he's worth, hey, you better win something, buddy, or else
Yeah.
you cannot be mentioned in the GO conversation. You already have a World Cup. You made the World Cup final twice. You're 1-1. You lost to Messi. Okay, that's respectable. That's fine. But you played with Messi on PSG. It didn't go well for you.
And with Neymar.
Respectable name. We don't mention him. We don't mention him. This is the most ideal situation for you at this present time. Do not choke it. Please don't choke it. Because Daniel, because I know you with Madrid, I'm telling you right now, don't put so much faith into this guy until the job is done and they're holding up that trophy. I'm warning you.
He's going to be wearing the number 9. We're going to move to the last two topics. Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight postponed. Mike Tyson had a medical emergency on a flight from Miami to Los Angeles, postponing the fight. Look, this is my opinion. All I have to say is why is 57-year-old Mike Tyson getting into a fight with Jake Paul? I mean, obviously, yes, it's just about the
Money.
the money and the viewership and whatnot. If Jake Paul wins, I mean, all his fights are rigged, in my opinion. But we all know that Mike Tyson was in his prime. He'd absolutely murder Jake Paul.
It's a lose-lose situation for Jake Paul because if he wins, he knocks out an old man. But if Mike Tyson wins, he gets knocked out by Mike Tyson and loses. So there's no benefit for Jake Paul winning besides the money. Like there's no point to this, and for it being suspended because Mike Tyson has I think it was an ulcer or something.
Yeah.
Like but he just called the fight off, man. Like, you've made your money with the promotions. Don't- like stop it.
You've
Like,
already had a hell of a career.
give me a fight everybody wants to see. Jake Paul and KSI, the beef that would be a fight I would love to see, bro. Because these two hate Daniel. I watch a lot of YouTube. These guys hate each other, bro. And I know KSI is good friends with Logan Paul. They have Prime together
Yeah.
and everything. I'm telling you this right, Daniel. Like the hate you have for Barcelona is even probably even intensified between how much they hate each other with Jake Paul and KSI. It is that bad. Where if Jake Paul is at Logan's house, they have to be separated in different parts of the house. It's that bad.
He's called out. Jake Paul's called Conor McGregor out too, but I'm
I
sorry.
watched that fight.
I'm sorry. Conor would destroy Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Destroy him. Final topic. And it was UFC 302. Main event was Islam Makhachev, Dustin Poirier. This is the last chance for Poirier to go and get a title. Everyone was rooting for Poirier. They wanted the ending to this story to be happy. It was a 5-round fight. Poirier was getting him. Poirier was tagging him. Cut up Makhachev right under the eye. And if you don't know, one of Makhachev's coaches is Khabib Nurmagomedov. And man, last round there was 2 minutes left in this fight until it went into a decision. And Makhachev made Poirier tap. Made him tap. Makhachev keeps the title. And post-fight interview. It was respectful, by the way, at the end between Makhachev and Poirier. Good sportsmanship. But at the end, Poirier said that this might have been his last fight, just because he's not gonna go. He's, by the way, 35 years old, so he's not young. He's like I have money. Like I have a little girl that I want to spend time with. Like there'd be no point for me just to fight, and like go up the ladder again to be the number one contender and fight for a title. Like this was my chance. I lost respectfully to a good opponent, and there's no point in me fighting. And Joe Rogan, who is the interviewer, commentates, but is also the post-match interviewer, say, so you're saying 100%, like this is your last fight. And Poirier said, I'm not 100% sure. It would have to be something, really good to get me to fight. But he's like, I'm just really not looking forward to fight just to fight. So he was like, if this is it, like, he thanked his family and stuff like that. And obviously Joe Rogan thanked him for one hell of a career. So it might seem that we just saw the last of Dustin Poirier. I know people were like, oh, what if Conor calls him out and they fight a fourth time? Like, do you think Dustin would do it? But honestly, the way I saw his body language, I think Dustin Poirier might be done.
I don't really watch much UFC, so I don't I don't know much about the topic, but I'm gonna just say like, good thing you're retiring, bro, because getting your butt kicked in isn't always that good of a day. So,
Nah.
so at least you get to go to your family, you get to relax, you know, hang out with your
You don't
daughter and stuff,
owe
and
your
fight.
money and have to come back and
Yeah,
fight.
like having to go to the gym every single day and have to sweat it out and wrestle and fight and punch each other every single day, and then do it again for a challenge.
Yeah.
Hey, you did it for as long as you did it. You're good. You can retire now. And what's his name? I forgot. What's it? Makachev
Makhachev.
showed good sportsmanship towards him and equally back. You heard that, Angel Reese? You heard it? Sportsmanship. Learn it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I brought it up. We're gonna continue this. I'm telling you, you got me heated up, Daniel. So yeah, I don't I don't even know the guy's face, but hey, you're the one that watches UFC, not me. But still, retiring is the best thing. Is the best thing he could have done. If you're saying that he looked kind of beat up and kind of like it was time,
Yeah.
then I guess it was time. Like, hey.
Well, anyways, that's going to do it for us tonight. We hope you guys enjoyed the episode. It's great to be back on. We hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Stay tuned to all of our social media. Make sure you watch the Panthers on Saturday night in the Stanley Cup Finals. Hope you enjoy the NBA Finals as well. And we'll see you guys next week for a brand new episode. Hope everyone has a great night.